I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. And I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send peace over the mountains. I send peace over the sea. I send peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my passion over the mountains. I send my passion over the sea. I send my passion into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. God is life and I am life. God is life and I am life. God is light and I am light. God is light and I am light. God is joy and I am joy. God is joy and I am joy. God is love and I am love. God is love and I am love. God is peace and I am peace. God is peace and I am peace. God is beauty and I am beauty. God is beauty and I am beauty. God is power and I am power. God is power and I am power. God is good, yes, God is good. God is good, yes, God is all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am all these things. God is all these things. I am. God is good.
Here we go. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. Take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. Take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I would go where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Yeah. Karen says I'm too blessed to be stressed. Eddie says I am the place where God shows up. Jamie says love is my religion, helps me make my own decision to be stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. Lead me where I'm led. I am stable and secure. I surround myself with joy. Take care of my well-being. Cosmic vibes have got me singing. I'm stable and secure. Karen says I'm too blessed to be stressed. Eddie says I am the place where God shows up. Jamie says love is my religion, helps me make my own decision to be stable and secure. From the soles of my feet to the top of my head, yeah. When the flow is complete, I will go where I'm led. Lead me 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 where I'm led. Love you, Creative Living Fellowship. Till next time, take care. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing neath moon and sun. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one in all in one. No greater blessing 'neath moon and sun. No greater blessing. Oh, great Spirit, no greater blessing 'neath moon and sun. Oh, great Spirit.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart's open wide. 'Cause I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Somebody said they need good vibes this morning. Who was it who said she needed good vibes this morning? Brandy. And we have got the good vibes here. We've got the very Reverend Karen Mitchell here this morning. We've got Clay Reynolds here this morning.
Good morning.
And of course, we've got Dave Blasucci and Mandy Williams here this morning.
Hi.
Hi. So let's get right to our service. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put you guys all in the pocket while I do opening treatment here. So let me go ahead and put on some Donna Michael music here this morning. There it is. Okay, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. I know that tensions all over our nation are high, and everyone's sense of expectation about what's unfolding this weekend and this week is very high. I know that, I understand it, I honor it, and I respect it, because our power to choose is an innate part of being a U.S. citizen here, and that's what we're talking about today, our divine authority to choose what we think and what we believe, and also how we vote and how we decide. That is the democratic process. So I wish everybody would just take a breath in with me. Let us do our absolute best this morning to center ourselves in the knowing that there is only one life. That life is God. That life is my life now and the life of each of us, whether we're tuning in live or whether we're watching this service delayed as it's archived on YouTube. Knowing that right where we are, good is flowing and that we are the conduits of this good. It is flowing through us. It is flowing as us. I know and understand that all is well, and that our human ability to choose how we use our divine power is part of our DNA, our divine natural authority of this one life. So today I bless our time together. I bless Reverend Karen's participation and Clay's participation. And of course, I bless our special music today by Dave and Mandy. And I know that this entire experience of our spiritual community coming together to celebrate the divinity of who we are, the love of who we are, our divine respect for each other and love for each other, as well as our divine love and respect for our nation and our ability to choose our leaders, when so many people on this planet do not have that ability. I bless us, I bless our time together, and right now in this moment and in gratitude, I release this blessing into the action of that mechanically accurate law, which is also lovingly impersonal and always says yes. And we'll talk about that today. Knowing that all is well, I let it be and I let it go, as together we affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Okie dokie. Well, last week, Reverend Karen introduced her version of the Ho'oponopono prayer. And the way that she learned it: I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And recognizing that, oh, look, Jigale is here. I love it. Good morning from the Hunt family. We miss you all, you beautiful people. Barb is here. Sherry B is here. Susie Clark is here. Christy and Hodor are there. You know, as we've talked about for, Lori S. says blessings, as we've talked about for months now, the Ho'oponopono prayer of forgiveness and reconciliation does not necessarily have to represent something that any of us have consciously or even unconsciously done against somebody else. By the way, do you guys notice my nose? I had that accident last week when I was rollerblading and I smashed my knee and my face and my hands. I cut up my fingers, you know. I am well and doing well, and I feel good. And so anyway, I want to take some time this morning for us to use Reverend Karen's version of the Ho'oponopono. It's 2.5 minutes long. Let's just start off by repeating the prayer with me right now. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. One more time. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And let's listen to Reverend Karen's version of this beautiful, beautiful prayer. Here we go.
I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We are responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We are responsible for what we see. Healing ourselves will heal the world. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you, Karen. We are so lucky to have you as part of our spiritual family. We are so lucky to have you. How are you?
I am blessed. Thank you. I feel really, really blessed to be here today. Yeah, it's been a crazy week, right? But
No
this
kidding.
is why we come here and do this, because it's just totally centers me and reminds me of who I am and who everybody else is.
Good. Well, let's go on with our centering. Would you please go ahead and lead us in the promises?
Yes, I'd love to. So these are Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises. I keep the promise that I have made to myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul.
Let's assure our souls right now by singing I Remember Who I Am.
1, 2, 3.
I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. His pure spirit. We are life, we are light, we are love. We are joy, We are peace, we are wisdom, and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are. Is pure spirit. And who we are is pure spirit. And who we are is pure spirit.
Okay, let's go ahead and go right to our community affirmation, which is, of course, taken from Dr. Holmes's Declaration of Principle, which he first published in Science of Mind magazine back in the fall of 1927. 93 years ago. My goodness. All right, so let's say this together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Yes, Dr. Holmes is. Hey, so we've got our great friends Dave and Mandy here today. Oh, you're on camera, Mandy. Good morning.
I was just leading her in some calisthenics.
Well, good. Some calisthenics, huh? So,
How
how are you guys doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Okay, you had another concert last night?
How you changed your outfit so quick from
I know.
going
That was
into the song.
That was a pre-recorded. Yeah, and you know that. You guys had a concert right in front of your house last night?
We did. It was so fun.
And how many
everyone
people
dressed
typically,
up.
how many people are showing up to these concerts?
Over 100.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really taken on its own kind of life of its own. Last night we had a costume contest. We had kids. We had adults. It was really fun.
But people are still, what are they doing? Sitting like across the street and on lawns and stuff?
Yeah, just a lawn. Yeah, they all bring their lawn chairs and they bring their little picnics, and everybody wears their masks and everybody
Fantastic.
kind of stays away. Yeah.
What a great service you're providing by entertaining people during this time. It's such a blessing. I really appreciate it. So
It's
what do you?
as much for us as anybody else.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well,
Yeah, we love it.
you got two songs today. Let's go with the first one, which is "Time After Time." So here we go.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback, warm nights, almost left behind. A suitcase of memories. Time after, sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead. You're calling to me. I can't hear what you've said. Then you say, go slow. I fall behind. The second-hand unwise. If you're lost, you can love, and you will find me. Time after time, If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting time after time. After my picture fades and darkness has turned to gray, watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside. The drum beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting time after time. Then you say, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting time after time. Time after time. Time after time. Time after time.
That was so beautiful. And I got to say, and I want the congregation to know, Dave and Mandy and I spent a bit of time over the last couple of days improving their broadcast sound, and it's so worth it. They came out here and picked up a mixer from me the other day, and that was your best sounding broadcast performance ever. It was really great. I'm so looking forward to your next one too. And thank you so much for doing that. I'll see you guys back in a minute.
Okay.
That's such a great song too, because I often think that the lyrics to that song, even though it was not written as a spiritual song, it's like a love letter from God. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting time after time. I just know if you're lost, you can look and you'll find me time after time. That was a great choice. Thank you so much. So it's the first Sunday of the month, and I want to remind you all that all of our centers for spiritual living are open and affirming are open and affirming communities. We're part of a much larger spiritual organization that has always been an open and affirming community. Black, white, gay, straight, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. We recognize that each of us is a divine individualization of spirit. And so also I want you to know that here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living specifically, we've created this statement about our inclusivity. The High Desert Center for Spiritual Living is a radically inclusive and mindfully non-racist spiritual community. All are lovingly welcomed here. But we also created, 2 months ago, a community statement, which I want to read, or actually have Reverend Karen read on the first Sunday of each month. And so this is our High Desert Center for Spiritual Living community statement of inclusivity. So Karen?
Thank you. I'm so happy to read this. And I love to start out the month with this absolute affirmation of who we are and what we're all about. So here we go. The community statement of inclusion. We, the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, are a community that celebrates diversity, fosters inclusion, champions inner work, and creates space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honors the unique emanation of spirit that each person embodies, advocates for human rights and dignity for all, blesses each other, sees holiness in all life, remains learners and listeners so that we can grow together, and understands that oneness is not sameness. And we, the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, know that our beloved community is revealed when we love each other well.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. That was beautifully said. And so I have to say, I'm just so enjoying having you do service with me on Sundays. It's such a blessing to have you, as my partner here and doing this together. So thank you for all that you bring, your music, your beauty, your grace. And how many people have signed up for your sister circle now?
I think we have 10 or 11 women now.
Fantastic.
It's amazing.
Fantastic.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. And all of these women have so many gifts to bring to this circle of women. And I'm just so excited to get to know everybody and really just foster these out picturings of these gifts.
Oh, wonderful. I forgot to get the graphic of it from you. So
I know, I wanted to send you that.
Send that to me and I'll start including it in the other stuff too. So
Perfect.
All right,
Thanks.
let's go on.
Thanks, Reverend Doug.
Thanks, I love you. So our office hours, I just wanted to remind you that you can go to the center. Our office hours are Mondays 9 to 1, Tuesdays 9 to 4, Wednesdays 9 to noon, and Thursdays 10 to 3. Social distancing and masks required, just FYI. And I'm going to bring in our practitioner today, who is the ever wonderful Clay Reynolds. Good morning, Clay. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Reverend Doug?
I'm good. I'm so glad to see you. You've been going back and forth between Las Vegas, helping your mom out, and home.
Yes, I have.
And how are you enjoying your retirement?
I am on the move quite a bit, so I need to slow down and just savor it. But I'm having a great time.
Good. All right. Well, let's do our affirmation, Flames of Faith, and our treatment. Here we go.
All right. Good morning, my spiritual family. It's glad to see you. First thing I'm going to do is share the affirmation. Today, I consciously choose to express my authentic self in all that I do. Let's say that affirmation together. Today, I consciously choose to express my authentic self in all that I do. One more time. Today, I consciously choose to express my authentic self in all that I do. And now the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony on Sundays to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the 7th candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle, honoring all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. It is my blessing to be able to share a spiritual mind treatment with you. So I invite you to close your eyes as we go within. As I come into this present moment, I am reminded that there is only one life, that life is perfect, that life is God, and that life is my life now. It beats my heart, it breathes my breath, and it prays this prayer. And I speak my words for myself and everyone present. I'm reminded that the truth of life, God, is breathing me. This means that love, wisdom, beauty, joy, peace, poise, power, and plenty course through my veins. Health, happiness, and success is the pure and abiding nature of God and expresses fully, easily, and gracefully through me. I am never separate from the love that is breathing me. I just say yes to God in all of its expressions. In this moment of connection with this truth, I accept and express the love that I am. I recognize God in new ways and experience the divine transforming my life in these exciting new ways. I see it, I feel it, I know it. Knowing that as God is, I am, I hold unlimited gratitude as the essence of my being. As I cultivate this attitude of gratitude, it multiplies. The more gratitude I express, the more good I experience. And the more good I experience, the more grateful I feel. And with a grateful heart, I release these words into the law that always says yes. I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is.
Oh, look. My green screen. Gotta fix my green screen there. Boom. There I am. Oh, that was a beautiful prayer. Thank you so much, Clay.
Thank you.
You have yourself a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you after the weekend.
Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you so much. All right, Dave and Mandy have one of my favorite songs of all time for us this morning. So you guys, take it away.
Here comes the sun, do, do, do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do, do, do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do. Here comes the sun. Does it? It's alright. Sun, 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 here we go. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. Does it? It's alright. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright.
Thank you guys so much. Beautiful performance, and you sound great. You sound great.
Thank
The
you
work
so
that we
much.
put in really made a huge difference. I'm so
Thank you.
appreciative.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you
It's
so
good to be
much.
here. We love you too.
And that song is one of the greatest spiritual action songs of all time. And I'm going to talk about that now. So you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon.
guys.
Right. So Here Comes the Sun, of course. That is, of course, George Harrison's song from 1969. Funny because that song actually was not the A-side. The A-side was "Oh Darling," which is a great song on the Abbey Road album. But I mean, "Here Comes the Sun" is one of the great songs of the 60s and 70s, and it was written not by Paul and John, but by George, right? And here's the thing. He wrote this song in early 1969, and the lyrics came from his relief, both at the arrival of spring, because apparently it had been a long, cold, lonely winter, but he also wrote it at a time when the Beatles were taking a break from their incessant arguing about their business affairs, because they had become, over the last 3 years, they'd become a huge business worth millions and millions and millions of pounds, and they were arguing about the direction of their business, and he took it really to heart. It really, really upset him, and he wrote this song, "Little Darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right." Now, what's so powerful about this song is that last sentence, his declaration, "and I say, it's all right." This is the science of mind in action. And that's the same thing as saying it's all right is the same thing as saying, and so it is. And I say, and so it is. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, and so it is. And this goes so perfectly with our November theme that we're going to be talking about all month, me and Reverend Karen, which is living as compassionate conduits for ourselves and for the world around us. And this week, what we're talking about is our divine authority to choose what we think and what we believe. Our divine authority to choose and to say, it's all right, and so it is, exactly as George did. And what we're working on, and by the way, I want to remind you that we also say our DNA, our divine natural authority. I love that graphic. What we're working on is the idea about God's will and our will. You know, often people talk about God's will as if the old anthropomorphic idea of a deity as an old man is still one that's guiding us and choosing and leading for us, when the truth is, universal intelligence is saying yes to our choices. Universal intelligence is saying yes to our choices, every one of our choices. The universal creative power that flows through you and me is what causes us to act. And its nature is to create, to express itself through its creation in every corner of life, in every corner of the universe, in every atom, in every molecular structure, in all beings. And this is why this month we're talking about ourselves as being conduits through which this power flows and demonstrates its glorious and creative nature. And if you don't usually use the word conduit, so Webster defines conduit as a natural or artificial channel through which something like water, fluid, is conveyed or flows. It's a means of transmitting or distributing. Now, we teach all the time and we talk about all the time that we are always connected to spirit. But as human beings and with our human minds, we might sometimes still find it alarmingly easy to forget our connection to spirit, to completely overlook it in certain situations, and react unconsciously and thinking that we're completely alone, not connected to this power of life that we call spirit or that we call mind. And even those of us here at the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living who are committed, spiritual students who are committed to the way of life of learning and of reminding ourselves, we can still find it frustratingly, that we have a frustrating tendency to forget who we are and the power that we individualize. We are living conduits of the divine. It is constantly channeling itself through us, flowing through us as we individualize it. And as we move through life, we may sometimes find ourselves at odds, in conflict. That's a sign in American Sign Language, conflict. We might find ourselves at odds or in conflict with this spiritual truth when we look out on the world and see conditions that are the natural challenges that we face being human, like diseases, like struggles, like social conflict, and like that little guy down in the corner over there, that red and white coronavirus guy that is, influencing so much of what's going on in the world right now. And it's absolutely true that these human experiences can clash with our spiritual idea of oneness and peace and love. And for me, there have been lots of times when I've wondered, why do we find ourselves in these human conditions when we're conduits of spirit? Why are we having these experiences? And when I think about it, it seems to me that it's because of our God-given ability to choose what we think and what we believe. Our experiences within this panoply of human, opportunities, our experiences when we see a little girl who's hungry or a girl who's holding up a Black Lives Matter, or the results of, this hurricane in Puerto Rico, or yes, Mr. Coronavirus down there in the, we have a choice. Our life is all about a choice of how we react to the things that are out there. Instead of judging that these things are happening to the world, we do have a choice about how we're going to react to them. And what's interesting is when I think about this, it seems to me that because of this God-given choice that we have, the ability to choose what to think and what to believe, our conscious alignment with spirit is variable. It's variable. Even though this divine power is available to us all of the time, we're sometimes more in alignment with it, and we're sometimes less in alignment with it. This microphone is covering up my favorite light back there. Yeah, let's put it over there, because I really like that light up there. So even though this divine power is available all the time, sometimes we're more in alignment with it. Sometimes we're less in alignment with it. You know, it's clear that it's one thing to know that we individualize the divine. It's one thing to know that we're conduits of this divinity, but it can also be a completely separate thing to be willing to stand up, rise up, and consciously choose to think and act and react from that awareness. You know, we can choose to be consciously in alignment with our good, and to act from that consciousness, or not. My friend Caroline Meese says, the more conscious we become, the more consciously we choose that which we set in motion to create. The more conscious we become, the more consciously we can choose that which we set in motion to create. When we're unconscious, we're not at choice about it at all. When we're unconscious, we're just on automatic. It's like Don Miguel Ruiz says, you know, we're relying on those agreements that we've all made from the time that we were children. But when we're conscious, we can consciously choose what we set in motion. And of course, we know that we set things in motion through our spiritual practice. Whatever it is, doesn't have to look like this. You don't have to be sitting in the lotus position, you know, doing your spiritual practice against that gorgeous sky, although that is really a pretty picture. You know, when we grow through our spiritual practice to be more and more conscious, we can choose to think and act with kindness and philanthropy for others and for ourselves, and good works in the world for others and ourselves. And when we do that, we set into motion a circulation of good that becomes more and more self-generating. More and more self-generating. When we do that, we move closer and closer to our own ultimate self-fulfillment of using the creative power of our minds. Because the more that we consciously use that creative power, the more we feel fulfilled. Karen says, awareness is the key to change, and taking action shifts the energy to what we desire to manifest. Yes, absolutely. And we are talking about taking action. We're talking about being conscious and then taking action. And the more that we act in the world from our choices, the better we get at being that conduit for creative intelligence. You know, we talked before about God's will, and this comes up for us all the time because we don't anthropomorphize. You know, what is God's will? We don't anthropomorphize God. God is not a personage. You know, God is life itself, the infinite intelligence, the infinite creativity of the spirit, as Deepak says. I'll get to that in a minute. You know, but what is God's will? If someone asks me about my personal belief about God's will, I have to say that I believe that if the intelligence of the universe possibly can have a conscious will of its own, it can only be one thing, for its own highest good as it evolves itself. And of course, that has to include us and our highest good, since we can't be separate from the universal intelligence, love, and wisdom as it evolves. We are part of it, and it is definitely part of us. So if God really has a conscious will other than an innate evolving sense of itself, then it can only be for its highest good, and that's for our highest good too. And of course, as I just said, Deepak Chopra says that God is the evolutionary impulse of the universe. God is infinite creativity, infinite love, infinite compassion, and infinite caring, and that's its innate nature. So perhaps it's not even consciously aware that it is all about its own evolution and good. It's just doing it. It's the natural evolutionary intelligence of itself. But think about this, and this is where the entire talk today is going. Okay, so pay attention. If you haven't been paying attention up to now, pay attention now. I see Karen over here on the screen. She's got her eyes wide open, waiting to hear what I'm going to say. Think about this. Spirit is so giving of itself to itself, which is us, that it accepts the choices that we make without editing them or giving its opinion about them. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Spirit is so giving of itself to itself, which includes us, which is us, that it accepts the choices that we make without editing them or even giving its opinion about them. Spirit recognizes us innately as the incarnate physical beings of its own identity and its own divinity. We literally are the hands of God on earth. We are God's hands on earth. We are God's eyes on earth, ears on earth, feet on earth. And as Clay said, God is breathing us and we are breathing it. God made us so clearly in its metaphysical image, meaning we don't look like God looks, but we use the metaphysical nature of the universe in exactly the same way that God uses the metaphysical nature of the universe. And God trusts itself and its creative process so completely that it simply puts our choices into creative action. God trusts you so completely that whatever you choose to think and believe, God says, okay. We say this all the time. The law of cause and effect is mechanically accurate and lovingly impersonal. The universe trusts us so completely that it simply puts our choices into creative action without editing them or even giving its opinion about them. So how are we demonstrating our divinity in the choices that we make each and every day? Our choices really are where the rubber hits the road. And there's nothing that we have to do to earn this power to choose. Dr. Holmes calls this power volition. Our power to choose is called volition, and it's innate within us. We're born with it. It is our DNA, our divine natural authority to choose. And the question is, are we consciously choosing to create, or are we unconsciously choosing to create? Are we working towards thinking about what we think about? Or are we walking through our life unconsciously and allowing our unconscious thoughts to manifest for ourselves and for the world? And of course, Dr. Holmes teaches us that trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. Trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. Now, I know I've told you before about how I'm absolutely capable of having negative thoughts that are worthy of nuclear explosions of unwanted manifestations. You know, I've told you about bills that I've gotten at 6 o'clock on a Friday evening that have ruined my weekend. I could tell you lots and lots of stories about how I've manifested unwanted experiences by staying unconscious. But I'd rather tell you a story about something that happened when I consciously used the metaphysical nature of the universe completely on purpose with 100% trained thought. When I began working in the TV and film music business after music school, I got on a pretty good roll from like 1993 to 1998. And during that time, I worked on about 30 TV movies and feature films as an orchestrator and copyist for a Canadian friend of mine, Lawrence Schrag, who is Sharon's and my dear friend. He moved here from Canada and started being a very busy composer when he came to LA, and he hired me to do his music preparation, orchestrating and copying. And there were several times during that 5-year period where I was technically out of work, meaning that I was in between projects, But during that whole time, I usually knew that another project was on the horizon, either through rumor or we definitely knew that somebody was talking about a movie they were currently making and they wanted our team, to be the music team for that. So we lived pretty much without fear for that whole 5-year period. But then, in the summer of 1998, Sharon and I and our then 9-month-old son, Jesse, who's now 23, we were planning a trip to visit our family in Canada for like several weeks, almost a month, I think, 3 weeks to a month, and there was no work on the horizon. I had no work, and I knew of no work, and none of my phone calls yielded any inklings of stuff that was coming. And there was nothing in the works. And I had a very busy year, so we had money in the bank, and we'd be okay for like another 6 months or 7 months or something. But it was the first time that I really, since I was in the music business, I was really out of work. And at that time, I was taking classes with Dr. David Walker, and he was my practitioner too. And he and I were working on training my thinking. But as we approached July with no work on the horizon, Sharon suggested that maybe she'd go to Canada without me and I should stay home and look for work. But David and I had been working, and his book, You Are Enough, was coming out. And he kept saying to me, "You're enough. Everything is okay." And I knew that something was coming with no evidence of it. I just had this feeling that something big was on the horizon. I just didn't know what it was. And Donna Michael and I had been talking, and I just didn't know what this was. And so I told Sharon, no, I'm coming to Canada because I know something's coming, and I don't know what it is, but I need a vacation. I've been working really, really hard, and I need this vacation because in a month or two, I'm going to wish, if I don't take this vacation, I'm going to really wish that I had taken a vacation because something big is really coming. So I went. And we had a fantastic summer holiday with family and friends. And, whenever someone in Canada would ask me what I was working on, I would say, I'm not working on anything right now, but I have a big project waiting for me back in LA. I just don't know the details yet, but it's coming. And that's all I can say right now. Now, they may have assumed that I knew more than I knew, but I knew, and I couldn't explain it in terms that other than metaphysical terms. We finished our time in Canada, and we went back over the border from Canada to Detroit to fly home to LA, and I checked my answering machine from a payphone. Remember payphones? And I only had one message. We had been gone for 3 or 3.5 weeks, and I only had one message on my answering machine, and it was from my brother-in-law, Steve Korn, who I know many of you know. And the message said that he had been offered a job at ABC TV as the music director on the soap opera General Hospital, but he had just accepted another job at another studio, Live Entertainment, as their head of music. So he had declined the job and told them he recommended me. And he told me the details. He knew I was traveling. It was a Saturday and that I'd be home tomorrow, Sunday, and that on Monday I needed to get in touch with a certain person at ABC TV and get my resume to them over the weekend. I didn't even have a resume. I'd been so busy for the last 5 years working on all these TV movies that I had to go home and go through all my files to put together a resume. When I got back to the gate where Sharon was sitting with Jesse in a stroller and she asked me if I had any messages, I said, yep, there was only one message. I'm going to work at ABC TV as the music director on General Hospital. And she said, I want to hear this message. So we went over to the payphone and we called again. And she said to me, that doesn't say that you got the job. I said, I've got the job. This is what I've been waiting for. I've told you all summer long that there's a big job waiting for me when we get back from LA. This has to be the job. This is the job I've been waiting for. And that's exactly what happened. Marianne Williamson, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about what Marianne said? Your life is already programmed in the mind of God to its highest creative possibility. Everything fabulous that can happen is already programmed into the ethers of the universe. If we want to receive the fabulous things that the universe has pre-programmed for us in its ethers, we first have to be open to receiving them, and then Using our trained thought, we have to choose to think and believe that they're ours and declare that as our truth. But to be successful doing this on a regular basis, we have to keep practicing. We have to keep practicing being open. We have to keep practicing saying, it's all good. We have to keep practicing saying, here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right, and so it is. This week, let's say yes to our divine authority to choose over and over again. Let's prove all week long that God in each of us, as us, is us by using our choice. This week, our backronym is choice. I consciously heal my oneness. I am creativity evolving. I consciously heal my oneness. I am creativity evolving. And so our affirmation this week was, today I consciously choose to express my authentic self in all that I do. In all that I do. And of course, Dr. Holmes reminds us that we are perfect God, perfect human, perfect being in all that we do. Before we go, I want to do another little treatment here. I'm going to put on this Donna Michael music here. Yeah. Let's sit right back into that knowing that Clay so beautifully set us up in. Let me turn down my music here. Let us sit back into that conscious knowing that each of us is, in fact, a conduit for God. In early Christianity, it was declared that God loved us so much that he gave his only Son to us as Savior. That's not necessarily our dogmatic idea of the divine, but here is something that I know to be truth. God loves us and trusts us so much that it says yes to each and every one of our choices without editing them, without even giving its opinion about them. There is one life. That is creative intelligence. That is divine creative authenticity and the urge to do and be and live as good in this world. And so right now in this moment, I declare this to be the truth for each of us. I know that God trusts and loves each of us so much that it automatically renders into manifestation that which we believe, that's which we know to be true. And so in this moment, I declare for each of us, for this week, for our nation as it goes through this change of choice this week, that we are not only at liberty to choose, but it is our divine natural authority to choose for ourselves not only how we live, but how we react to everything that's around us in this moment and in every moment. Blessing each of us and blessing our experience here and blessing our choices here, I allow this prayer, this knowing, this belief system to resonate within the metaphysical nature of universal mind for each and every one of us right now in this moment. Blessing our experience, blessing our time together, blessing our nation, blessing each of us in this nation. I release my word into the action of the law. And as we said, lovingly impersonal, mechanically accurate, we allow it to do the bidding of our conscious thought right now in this moment. All is well. Life is good. We are good in it. And so as I release it, together we say, and so it is. And so it is. Yeah, that felt good. I recognize right now in this moment that this entire year of 2020, it's funny, we were talking this morning about fall back. I think it was Dave who said, yeah, that's all we need is another hour of 2020. Man, it's been a challenging year, but we're religious scientists. We are new thought thinkers. We are those practicing the science of mind, and we are always at choice about how we react to everything. 2020, our 2020 vision, one life in focus. Thank you, Karen. Karen said, beautiful prayer, Reverend Doug. Thank you. Our one life in focus. That's right. So I want to remind everybody who's here participating that for our center to continue to do this work, we must celebrate the circular nature of giving and receiving. You can give through the Give Plus mobile app. I know that there has been experiences of financial insecurity during this time of the coronavirus. And right now, the virus itself, because people have not been practicing safe social distancing and masking up in several parts of our country, things are seeming to be out of control in many places. We are at choice about how we react to that. If we want to continue to do the work that we're doing at the High Desert Center, we have to continue to contribute. I know that I am. I also ask you all to do the same. And you can give through the Give Plus mobile app. Of course, you can go to our website and contribute through the donate buttons on our website. And you can also come to the office or mail. You can mail something to the office at 18575 Corwin Road in Apple Valley, California. And if you decide to come, the office hours again are 9 a.m. to 1 Monday, 9 a.m. to 4 Tuesday. Although I don't know that our office is going to be open on Tuesday because of polling day. But Wednesday 9 to 12, Thursday 10 to 3. And so let's go ahead and say our affirmative prayer for giving. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And for every transaction that I personally make, I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. We are going to have a Zoom meeting after service today for fellowship. And the meeting ID is 882 885-3097. The passcode is 1111. Or you can call in. You still need the passcode if you call in, I think, 1111. 669-900-6833. And Charles says, the center is not a polling place this year since all polling places are open from Saturday through Tuesday. I realize that, but I don't know. I just had forgotten, Charles, whether we had decided to be open on Election Day or not. So that was just my not having thought about that. And Judy is answering, saying the office will be closed on Tuesday. So there's that clarification. Thank you. So let's go ahead and by the way, I did also have an automatic text go out to everybody who receives text with the login information for the Zoom meeting, which is right after service, right after we finish God Makes Me Want to Sing. So I'm going to sing All Is Well. I invite you to join me. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the infinite, indwelling Spirit blesses and protects us. I know that Spirit is kind and gracious through us in all that we do. And I know that Spirit shines its light upon us and is our peace, as it expresses that peace through us in every moment of our lives. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. One more time. Life is good, and so it is. Have a great week, everybody. Remember, each of us has the power to choose. That includes our vote. That includes how we react to all of the political stuff going on in our country. And that also includes what we think and what we believe about our own manifestation for ourselves and this world. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. Let's go out with Daniel's song, God Makes Me Want to Sing.
Can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God and paupers and kings. Whoa, whoa, yeah. We're all precious, no one less or more. We've all got the same treasure in store. That's why I'm loving every little